Good morning. We are day 5 of this marathon prep. For anyone who's following along, and I know it's not very many people, which is actually okay. These these videos are more for Christy and myself. Just for us to document what we've done over the years, the different adventures we've had, the different things or challenges that we've taken on. And sometimes we just like looking back on videos and just watching and enjoying those memories again, because you can always remember stuff, but just something different about seeing a video, going back and seeing a video. So that's what these videos are for, if anyone's wondering. But today we're doing a 5 kilometer recovery run. Originally, this day was supposed to be just kind of like another resistance training day, Friday, with a long run on Saturday and then a recovery run on Sunday. But just logistically, it won't work out for me like that. So I'm moving the long run to Sunday. The recovery run I'm doing today on Friday. And I might still do the resistance training today. We'll just see how my schedule works out. If I can't do the resistance training today, I'll do it on Saturday. How does that like affect the program? Not much. I mean, I'm still getting in all the volume. I'm getting in all the work. So like from a macro sense, like everything's going to work out fine. On a more micro sense, like maybe my long run will be slower than it would have been otherwise, right? Because I'm getting in I'm front loading all of my volume, and then I'm not going to have anything after or something like that. So maybe, but it's more important to get all the work in, so just kind of shifting things around. And then we'll see how next week pans out. But yeah, just a quick little 5K and we'll get to it. So let's go do some dynamic stuff. All right, well, as far as how my body feels, low back feels fine. Hamstrings feel a little tender, but legs overall, they don't feel too blasted, just some light fatigue. So all of that makes sense. Upper body feels super fresh. So when I do resistance training, hopefully I can push that pretty hard. And yeah, so dynamic. This is always the funniest part, is putting on the running band, but I call it a fupa because it's just funny. It's just because it's like a pouch right here. But so I have a vest, and I like using that for the trail runs because I can carry more stuff in the pockets and whatever. But short little run like this, wear the little fupa. It's nice, and then I just put the phone in there, because if I put the phone in my pockets, it bounces around too much. So I can do that. I like using this little thing here. And we're all set and ready to run. Run is feeling fine. Heart rate's low, like under 135. I'm just kind of like cruising. I'm not trying to win any prizes. The target heart rate though is 139 to 150 for zone 2, but 115 to 138 is my zone 1, which is like recovery. And this is supposed to be a recovery run, so I can get away with it in zone 2 if I want to. But I don't know, zone 1 feels good right now. I'm just kind of trotting along. It is funny though, like I'm recording as I run, and Christy, I saw this Instagram post yesterday, and it was a young lady, and she's trying to qualify for the Boston Marathon, and so she's recording her times every mile. She's like, mile 1, she's fast, so like 7:45 split, 7:50 split, whatever. And she's quick, but she ends up missing the qualifying time by like 7 seconds. And someone commented, like an ultra runner, and very respectful comment though. He was like, I've done that. I've missed it because I was too busy capturing content. So I can tell you from my experience, like, just if you can learn from this, if it's really important to do it, sometimes content needs to take a back seat and like, focus on goal. Because she was real sad that she didn't make it. And it's like, that's 7 seconds easily could have been shaved off by not taking out your phone, 24, 25 times during the run. When you think about it, like, even if it's 1 second, that's 25 seconds. So anyway, all these people were like bashing him in the comments. And I was like, why are you booing him? He's right. Like, oh, but there's so many other things to consider, hydration and recovery, blah, blah. Yes, there's a lot of things that could have attributed to that 7 seconds. Like, if her hydration was better or training, like, she could have recorded herself and still qualified. But by the time you're there, all of those things are already set in stone. The one thing you can finally control in the marathon is how much you're pulling your phone out to capture content. So I just thought it was funny. Like, people just can't, like, acknowledge, like, hey, yeah, you know what, you're right. Or it could have easily been, well, my goal is to qualify for the Boston while still capturing content. Like, I want to be able to do both at the same time. Okay, well, if that's your goal, that's your goal. But if you're really upset that you're going into it saying, oh, I want to qualify, well, then you should focus on qualifying. I don't know. Just my 2 cents on social media. Nobody cares about that. 1.5 kilometers left. Been really good about keeping my heart rate down. Easy run. I like this little pace. It's nothing hard, so it does feel like just moving my body. I'm not looking forward to doing 15 kilometers at this pace though, which is gonna be Sunday. But yeah, I'll get home, eat breakfast, see about what work I can do, and if the next time you see me I'm heading into the gym, it's because I have the time and energy to do my resistance training today. If not, this would be the end of the video. So bye. All right, I decided to just come to the gym to do my resistance training because I looked at the program, and this training session I only have upper body stuff. So it's close grip bench press, lateral raises, biceps curls, and I believe seated shoulder press. So 2 pressing movements plus some lateral raise and then biceps. So yeah, pretty easy. It's now 1 p.m. Earlier when I finished the run, it was like 7 a.m. So it's been a few hours since I did the run. My legs definitely feel fatigued. We went to Costco, and that's always fun, but I could definitely feel like I didn't want to walk anymore. So I'm just gonna put in some clips of the resistance training. Don't really have too much to add to that. And yeah, just getting it done with this double. That way I can have less things to do on Saturday, and then I can do my long run on Sunday, and then just rinse and repeat. So for those of you who are trying to get in your resistance training with your running, just understand that, like, it's hard to do everything. So you're gonna have to do doubles at some point, and that's what we're doing here. So okay, we'll finish up with 225. So the RP prescriptions were 4 out of 5, 6, and 7. So this is 225. I was too lazy to put 2 plates on. I just added plates. It's my gym. I can do whatever I want. But yeah, it's just 225 by 4. Honestly, it'll probably feel more like a 6.5, but call it a 225 by 4. Then I'll go into shoulder press. Then I'll do my lateral raises. Then I'll do my biceps curls. And then I'll call it a day. As far as recovery, I don't really do any crazy recovery modalities. I do use a medication to help me sleep because I have insomnia. So I have medically diagnosed insomnia. So I use trazodone to help me sleep. But outside of sleep, I don't really do much other than sleep, protein, creatine, veggies, fruits, starches, sleep. Stress management works a lot. So I make sure that I write out what I have to do in the day, kind of approaching everything, not letting it overwhelm me. That's easier because I'm sleeping. So, if you're very easily anxious and every molehill looks like a mountain and your sleep is trash, probably got to work on fixing your sleep. But yeah, big advocate of sleep. Other recovery modalities, ice bath, sauna, dry needle, red light therapy, massage. I think those are probably fine if you have the time and money to do them. But they don't replace the basics of a well-balanced diet and really good sleep. So yeah, let's knock this out. Oh yeah. Easy. Sometimes you know it's just going to be easy from the second you unrack it. Alright, I'm done with that. Program only has 2 hard sets. Not even that hard. They're like sets of 8 to 12 at like RP 7 to 8. So 2 submax sets. I'm only going to do that, even though I feel like I could do more. It's not worth it to do more because we're week 1 in the program. I'd rather underdose everything and then build up than overdose. And then I just get hurt like week 3 or something like that, right? Like, just a successful training block is just trying to string together several workouts in a row where you don't get hurt. And if you can go the whole training block without an injury, you're probably going to have a good performance on test day. But if you're trying to, like, I don't know, be a hero going out the gate, you're just going to hurt yourself. And then, you know, that's how you lose. Okay. For So I like this chest supported dumbbell lateral variation because, you know, it keeps you from like swinging. So I actually have cable lateral raises program, but like the exercise selection doesn't really matter, right? Just hitting the lateral delts. But yeah, if you set your bench at like 60 degrees and you really focus on like this part squeezing, where the hand is doesn't really matter as long as the upper arm is like more or less in line with the shoulder. So you could be here or here, right? The further out you have, obviously, the harder it's going to be because the weight's further out. So sometimes I have clients, they'll do this and they'll bring it up forward. That's okay, but we're not really hitting the lateral delt at that point. We're hitting the anterior delt, the front delt. So we don't really want to come here and come out to the side. So think about your upper arm kind of opening out to the side. Just a little exercise tip. Okay, I'm rested. Okay, biceps. I like setting the bench up 75 degrees. That way I can push my back up against it, and it kind of just keeps me a little more honest. But yeah, same thing, biceps curls. I like cables more than dumbbells. Because when I do a cable biceps curl, like the resistance curve stays pretty much constant. With dumbbells, it's like hard here, and then it kind of gets easy at the top. I mean, it's all the same. Just train hard. Yeah. All right, let's see, first set. One more set. One more set. I like lifting weights is easier than running because you only have to sustain the effort for like less than a minute and then you rest. When you're trying to keep zone 4 for like 30 minutes, that shit's hard. So yeah, running definitely takes like running well. It takes a lot of grit, for sure. You might be wondering why I'm at Watchdog. So this is my gym. Chrissy and I own this gym together. I'm training here because one, I wanted to record, so it's just easier to do it here than at the Y. Usually I train at the Y because when I'm at work, I'm inclined to work. And actually, I'm kind of working right now. I'm answering some messages from a Slack group that I'm in. So I'm having an article published, which is kind of cool. So the guys do it on the website, just have a few like questions, like reformatting questions or like SEO questions, stuff like that. And so they just want to make sure they have permission for me to change the text on things. Since I'm the author, they don't want to like step on my creativity or whatever. I'm fine with it. I'll take a good idea from anybody if it's a good idea. If I don't think it's a good idea, at least try to hear someone out. And maybe I'm wrong. And if they can like convince me, which is easy to convince me of stuff if you have a well-formulated, argument, I'm happy to listen. So, but yeah, I was like, yeah, hey, change this, change that. So just looking forward to seeing that get published. It'll be my first article published. So really cool. Okay, that's it. Fuck. Oh, fuck. And now I am officially done with training for today. Final training session will be Sunday, 15-kilometer long run. It's probably gonna take me about an hour and a half. So the long runs, keep it in zone 2, and I'll practice like taking gels. So I'll probably take a gel when I start, maybe a gel at the 30, 40 minute, 45 minute mark, and then another gel at the hour mark. I don't necessarily need the gels yet for performance, but it's good to practice taking them early, right? Because you usually don't need like the gels or anything until you're doing like more than 90 minutes. But just like anything else, you have to train yourself to do things. So training myself to remember to take the gels, and also training my body to like know that that fuel is coming and how to process it, so that way I can just get good at taking them and stuff. And so yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. I'm sorry, Sunday. But yeah, thanks for following along. Bye.